Logan, hey, how are you?
Good, good. How are you?
Good. So I'm really curious about Escape Room Tournament of Champions in terms of this felt like a big movie. It's so much fun to go back to the movies to experience something where incredible sound design, incredible production design, the score, it just feels big.
Yeah.
And you were at a screening, I think the other day, sort of like a special friends and family screening.
Yes.
What's it like for you to experience this film, to watch it, but also to be in it? You know, does the magic kind of happen after, or can you feel it when you're filming it?
The magic definitely happens after, because what we're feeling is the stress that we're conveying on screen for 3 months at a time. And the reason why everything is so big scale is because of the attention of detail that the filmmakers and the actors put onto the screen. I mean, we cover these shows like uh, icing on a layer cake, I always say, because it's like we get every small detail, and each day is about 30 seconds of footage. So having to do that kind of slow process can be very taxing. But then when you see these things in the edit, you're just taking on that thrill ride, and all of that hard work feels accomplished. We feel like we've done something right. And, I had seen it with Holland Roden early in kind of post-production. And it was fine, but it was just like us two in a theater, and we got to see it 2 days ago with an entire audience of friends that we knew. And, I'll say people snuck some liquor in, and we were screaming at the screen and having a good time. And it felt like the thrill ride that we wanted to convey. We want it to be like that kind of amusement park theme ride that you want. And people are salivating for that 100% now, due to pandemic reasons and whatnot. And I think it's a really good excuse to just go to the movies again.
Yeah. So what did it feel like for you for the last one? Because, I was watching that your co-star, Taylor Russell, said that this is the movie that she's most identified for, that people come up to her all the time about it. It just feels like the last Escape Room, it was like the movie that could, once it got released, it just spiraled and spiraled, and people were really feeling it and really into it. So what did that feel like for you? Did you know you had such a special film on your hands, or did it just, did the word of mouth, for example, did that just help get everybody so into it?
Yeah, it was definitely the word of mouth. And I think that we were all very surprised. We knew what we were making, but we weren't sure how people were going to respond to it, because, you take the concept of something that people love so much, and now you try to flip it on its head and make kind of a thrilling narrative with it. You aren't sure how people are going to react. And then when we had the response of, people all around the globe loving it and coming back to the theaters again and again, we knew that we wanted to continue the chapters, and we wanted to try to challenge ourselves again and make something even more of a grand scale. And now the benefit of the fact that, the first one was so successful, now we have a little bit of a cushion to make something more expansive, make something larger with a little bit more of a budget. But that cushion isn't a real soft one, because we wanted to, utilize that larger budget to make these sets all the more illustrious, get the actors that we want that are going to be able to convey this thrill ride. And so, it just gave us the opportunity to just challenge ourselves all the much more.
Mm-hmm. So I was reading in some interviews with your director, with Adam, and he was talking about, for a movie like this, you can lean in heavily into some of the themes, that there is a lot going on within it, that, that very much the feeling of being trapped or in a room for a while, a lot of people can relate to that. And just generally the idea of challenging societal norms, of speaking out, of protesting, you can really lean heavily into those themes in both of these films. How much do you do so?
Yeah, I mean, I love that people are able to interpret those kinds of, you know, leaning things to talk about. Like it's great. I mean, we set out to make a thrill ride, but we also wanted to say something in between. And it is that question of the evil corporation of Minos. So you've got that. Maybe that's the 1%, the larger man, the people at the top of the pyramid not being there for lower income people or something like that. Like there, all of those things are kind of thematic throughout it. But yeah, I mean, this storyline couldn't have come at a more specific time in human history, and it's like all of those things that we've been struggling with, those are all kind of conveyed in a more fun, thrilling manner for Escape Room. But yeah, all of those things are kind of there, and so that's what makes it so relatable. And I think that that's where people are going to come in, and it's like this is your punching bag. You'll get to watch Escape Room and get to feel all of that tension, and maybe when you come out of it, you'll feel some cathartic relief of just like, oh, I was able to get all that like pent up aggression that I had felt about the past year, and this movie kind of helped me release all that. So if anybody's trying to challenge what they've been thinking for the last couple of months and years, this will maybe help expose something for them.
Your movie Shithouse, which you had said is one of the most important projects that you've been a part of, by pure chance, the last interview that I did was with your co-star in that film, Olivia, who I don't even think you even shared any scenes, but got to know each other from that. How do you make a movie for $15,000 and yet a movie that's good, that's really enjoyable?
Yeah, I mean, we really hit the gold mine there. It was completely by design, but chance as well, and it really was the fact that Cooper had written such a relatable project of those kinds of awkward moments that you feel in a college setting. The thing where it's like, it's the movie that flips the dynamic completely, where everything in college movies we've always seen have been met with fun parties, getting laid, and then like having a bunch of friends in the end. It doesn't work that way in reality, and everybody was so collaborative and helpful in trying to make this small little movie into something important. And again, like we didn't even know what the response was going to be on that. But the great thing that I gathered from all of that is, we had, of course, Jay Duplass helping us along the way with it as well. But like I had met a wonderful group of talented creatives who are now some of my best friends and willing to work on anything and continue these collaborations. I compare what I felt in Shithouse to like the group that had made like Wet Hot American Summers, the Michael Showalters, David Wayne, Rob Corddry, that talented comedic group who's always making things in different directions, but always doing it together in a way. I felt that was kind of a resurgence of that energy with Shithouse. So that was really cool. And funny enough too, you talk about Olivia, we didn't meet just on that project. We actually went to the exact same acting studio together when we were kids in Texas. Oh. She was there a little bit later than me because, she is younger, obviously. But yeah, we both were at that acting studio. So it was great that world collided as well.
Oh, I didn't know that. So
yeah.
The Texas connection, right? Runs very
Connect.
deep.
Yeah. Runs deeper than the South.
And We Summon the Darkness, also such a really funny, subversive, horror. It blended all those genres so well. How did you feel about that film?
Yeah, The opportunity to get to work with Mark was amazing. I really had enjoyed his work on My Friend Dahmer. I had met with him on My Friend Dahmer, and we had become close after that. I didn't play Dahmer, but then good things happen to those who wait, and we did something better, which was We Sow in the Darkness, and it was great because I am such a 1980s metalhead freak. I love that whole world, and I also am very obsessed with the like televangelist world too. Like that's always something that I've always wanted to explore and explore more creatively as well. So yeah, being able to kind of mesh those two together in this pulpy, almost comedic horror thriller, it really was great. And getting to shoot out in the middle of nowhere in Winnipeg at this one mansion and just kind of living that pulpy 80s dream, it was a lot of fun. And getting to work with Alex Daddario, and the rest of the cast along the way was a true treasure.
So I'm going to shout out sort of one more of your films back to this one, The Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse, another adventure sort of in horror, but a real twist on horror. What Chris is doing is so interesting in that film, and I feel like it really sort of got that sense of tone as well too.
Yeah, that's still hands down one of my favorite projects I've ever done, just because of the energy that Chris created with that film. And thankfully it became something of a little bit of a cult classic, and people still come up to me to this day. And we're talking the zombie cats, we're talking the zombie cops, we're talking Zombie Dick. It's a lot of fun. And that was what was so great, was Chris loves these boisterous characters, and he is somebody who always is open for collaboration. Let me improv a whole hell of a lot, maybe even too much sometimes, but he let me do it, and I was so thankful for that. Also, to even work with the late Cloris Leachman, she was unbelievable at that moment. Just coming onto set and then just making everybody cry laughing, without even saying words. Sometimes, it's that energy. But had a lot of fun in that movie. Running through the streets of LA, finding different little pieces to work there, and exploding some very characteristically funny zombies along the way.
Mm-hmm. So as Into Escape Room, you survived the escape room in the first movie. You and Taylor are sort of the sole survivors. What was it like to bring in, India and Thomas and Holland and these new people into this film? Was there sort of a language that you had from the first film for this one, and getting back into it?
Yeah, Taylor and I, along with Adam and Mark, we all had that shorthand ready because we had done it so many times before. But then, yeah, we got a whole new colorful cast of characters that are coming along the way, and we really were thrown into the lion's den because we had to, make it work very quickly and get to know each other again very quickly. And, everybody's very excited to be there, but I wanted to kind of give them a pep talk of like what was to expect, because, it is I don't want to say grueling process, but it's a very tedious process. It's going to be times where you want to try to work on some like character development, which will come, but like, you're going to have to just do that in like a slower pace. Whereas like, it depends on the project. Some projects you get a 9-page dialogue scene and you're able to like really get in deep with those characters and whatnot. This, where you can have that in these moments, but you're going to have to like really sit there and meticulously think what your character is feeling at like a 30-second time frame. So you're basically living your emotions slow motion. And so I try to talk with them as much as possible and give them kind of that heated warning. And yeah, I think that they appreciated it. and we just became great drinking buddies because of it.
I think you once said it as something like, you're there to help somebody else's journey, or even, possibly hinder, but still have that role within. What does that mean for you in a film like Love, Simon, in which you're sort of kind of the antagonist of the film, or complicated? Do you kind of try and find the sort of that light within the darkness in characters like that?
Yeah, well, because the thing is, with Martin, the thing is, like, yes, you could be seen as an antagonist. However, he's a very dorky kid with a loud mouth and a like Lord Farquaad like haircut. So he's just trying to make it work along the way too. And the thing that was so amazing and genuine about Love, Simon is those characters are real high schoolers. I knew 12 Martins, and they would wear stupid decal t-shirts and wear gym shorts and long ill-fitting socks, and just have no like sense of fashion or idea of like who they are, but they're just like verbally vomiting. And that's met with a lot of confusion because high school is messy, the world is messy, and like that's the one place that you're testing out all of the things that are going to eventually work in your life or not work. And so I wanted to convey that, where it was like, yes, he did something wrong, but we found a way for him to kind of redeem himself and be the better person in the end. And so sometimes a wrongdoing is necessary, because then it amplifies growth, and it helps you learn along the way. And so that's really kind of how I wanted to convey Martin, where he was going through those kind of high school adolescent challenges rather than just the bad guy.
So what kind of stuff do you respond to as a viewer? Because, I saw that, Chase Sweet Wonders was at your screening, and, Generation has been one of those shows that I found to be really interesting to dive into. I saw your post about the new Gossip Girl as well, making the sort of the pseudo cocktail, and that was really funny. You talked about, David Wayne and Wet Hot. What kind of things have you seen and you've really, really responded to?
Yeah, well, I love niche categories. I love things that are very funny, challenging. When you talk about Gossip Girl, that's just kind of some pulpy watch to like fall asleep to and just like turn off a brain. Something fun to watch with the girlfriend. But yeah, I always like challenging filmmakers. It'll be fun, independent, eccentric comedy. I think everything that Tim Heidecker makes was some of my favorite work. And then also when it comes to like challenging films, I loved Climax by Gaspar Noé. I felt like that was such a mind bender, while also just like such a great experimentation in filmmaking. So the list goes on. It's like I treat my viewership like I do my career, where it's like I'm not pigeonholed into one center. I love it all. If anything, where my bias lies, it's probably in comedy. I'm literally trying to watch every new piece of comedy and trying to see who's challenging what. I love, Tim Robinson's show that had just came back for the second season. Again, like, huge Tim and Eric fan. And like, I just like always love the challenging different things that they present. And so, yeah, it's met with a lot of different things, but I love people that just challenge and break the barriers and find something new.
So we have the potential from this movie that we could visit the escape room again, that there's it's open for that. What are some of the things upcoming that maybe you haven't had a chance to explore on screen that you'd like to do? I don't even know if you've had a chance to work yet with your girlfriend on screen. Maybe that's something, or, what are some of the things that upcoming that you'd really like to dive into?
Yeah, I mean, the future holds a lot of amazing potentials. And, I've had such a great opportunity during, these pandemic times to really get to know all of these people that are my peers, and collaboration is key. I'm working with some of the producers on that were working on Shithouse, and we've kind of created a little bit of collaboration together, and we're making many things. I'm going into a lot more screenwriting now too. I've been working on this project for 3 years that I hope that I can announce soon. And, also doing another thing that's kind of diving into the world of faith-based films, because I was raised Christian. I saw all of that stuff and see the weird, almost money-hungry underbelly of it all too. And so I want to explore something in that avenue. As far as projects that are upcoming too, I got a chance to work with this director named Chad Harbold, and we did a remake of a old 60s noir called Private Property, a lost noir that was found, I think, like 6 or 7 years ago. And so we did a full remake with myself, Ashley Benson, and Shiloh Fernandez. So that's going to be a really fun movie. And, we're in the midst of the edit right now on that. I'll be doing a movie with Melissa Leo and Emma Roberts that is also a challenging family slow burn thriller. And so, yeah, the next couple years are going to be met with me trying to kind of take control creatively, be maybe behind the camera, but if in any case, if it's in front of the camera or behind it, I will hope to have written it. And yeah, getting to work with like Rachel Sennott would be great, of course. And, she's my love. And so maybe we can do it together. That would be amazing as well. So, just the great communication of everything, and just the challenges of getting to work with new talent, and talent that is my age, and we're all in this together. It's quite wonderful. So hopefully soon.
Thank you so much for sharing a little bit about what you've done, what you have to come, what you have right now. I continue to enjoy the things that you're in. I think you're really forging a fascinating career path, and I can't wait to see where it goes. So thank you.
Thank you. Me as well. Thanks so much, Charles. Thanks for talking to me.